What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another fabulous live stream based on a true story podcast. You hear me? As always, rate, comment, subscribe. Share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. You heard me? Welcome, 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 welcome. All right. Based on a true story. All right. Hope you guys are thoroughly entertained, enjoying these stories, these story times that are on the live stream. So I'm going to tell y'all, this is a story that just happened like 6 hours ago. Maybe 6, maybe 5 hours ago. All right. So I'm at work, you know what I'm saying? Work, I clocked in. I'm trying, I clocked in, walking to the break, every time you clock in, they have a team meeting. So they want everybody in the break room for a team meeting. We have a team meeting every day, all right? Sometimes the majority of the time when they have team meetings is basically stuff, useless stuff. It may be something that may be useful to somebody, but 9 times out of 10 it's just useless stuff. Like for the past 5 meetings, they talked about make sure you sign up for your benefits. That's probably useful to somebody that's not aware or probably not on or don't know what's going on, but it's pretty much useless to the rest of us. Okay, so they start off with that. Then they talk about the sales. I'm gonna be honest with you. The sales are gonna go up anyway because it's the holiday. We got Thanksgiving around the corner. We got Christmas. Why wouldn't the sales not be up? That would be my question. But hey, whatever. To each his own. So, man starts talking. And he starts talking about how, he shows us these pictures. He said, pass the pictures around, make sure everyone gets to see the pictures. And he's showing us pictures of a previous store on how they condition their aisles. There's the right way and the wrong way. So he's showing me pictures of the wrong way. And he's saying, can anyone tell me what you see in that picture that's wrong? Can anyone tell me that? I barely glanced at it and I just noticed it right away. I said, doesn't look zone. He said, doesn't look condition. Zone, condition, whatever. So he said, that's right, Chris. It's not zone, it's not conditioned. That's not where we want to be at. So basically, to make a short story short instead of long, he wants everybody to focus on conditioning their aisles. And he asks suggestions, like why a lot of people are not conditioning their aisles, like what's going on, and I said the first thing is, well, it's the holiday. We're going to be busy, right? So you think around holiday, y'all be adding additional people. Y'all haven't been adding additional people. Man, hey, how you doing, Molly? How you doing? I just saw your message. How you doing? Thanks for the thumbs up. So I said, during the holiday, you would think you'd be hiring some extra people. Well, y'all not hiring extra people. Matter of fact, y'all letting people go. Y'all letting people go like it ain't nothing to them. Okay? Like it ain't nothing to you. Okay? Do people know that when you hire somebody, you already in the hole with that new hire? Just think about it for a second. You approve them, you hire them, they go through orientation, they go through training, they they go through training, they go maybe 1-2 weeks of working, trying to figure it out, and then they either quit or you let them go. And I'm saying that's the number one reason why stuff ain't getting done, because you don't have people. And when you get people, you let them go. And then it's like you're repeating the same cycle. You let one go, you hire another person. Well, you let two go, you hire a person, you train that person, then you let them go. You know what I'm saying? So you're not the solution, you're more of the problem. I said, yeah, that's one thing. And then I said, two, y'all, y'all really don't really focus on, to me personally, they don't focus on what they have in the back. They don't focus on what they have in the back. They just order it. So this how it goes down for all the people out there who've been living on a rock, like your boy to explain. All right. So you work the stuff to the shelf, right? You may not have time to go through your back stock. Okay. You may not have time to do it, but you know for a fact that there's a hole in your aisle, and you know for a fact that you got that item that's in the back that will fill that hole. But unfortunately, you don't have time to do it, okay? So you assume the next group of people, the next crew, is going to do the overstock. Do they do the overstock? I don't know. I'm not there, okay? So then you assume that the evening crew is going to fill that hole, that hole, go through the overstock. Are they doing it? I don't know. I'm not there. But when I come in the next day, there's that hole. It's still sitting there. All right. And now the system is going to order it. You know why? Because when you have online shoppers, they walk through the aisles, right? So they walking through the aisle. Let's just say you got some mozzarella sticks, and you have the mozzarella sticks. They're in the back stock, but you just don't have time to fill it up because you have to put the new stock out. And then you assume that the other crews are going to fill it, but they don't fill it. Okay? And then you come back, it's not filled. So now the system thinks that we don't have those mozzarella sticks, so it's going to order it. Or the online shoppers, when they shopping for online orders, they come to that item, oh, they don't have mozzarella sticks. I'm just going to zero it out. They don't have it, so I'm going to tell the system to order it. You dig what I'm saying? But you don't train them to go to the back to check to see if we have it. Therein lies the problem. So you don't never have enough time to do overstock on us with our crew, because y'all don't never make it a priority. And the next group of people, they don't make it a priority because they're doing something else. So I say, yeah, that's why we're getting further and further behind. We're getting further and further behind because of small stuff, because we're not communicating with one another. All right. Like, you would think that the managers, like the daytime manager, is going to communicate with the evening manager, and then the evening manager is going to communicate with the overnight manager. But no, they don't communicate with one another. They just come in and see what they got to do. You dig what I'm saying? Nobody's not really communicating with one another. All right. And with technology being this advanced, you would think that wouldn't be a problem, because all it takes is just shooting a text message. Like, if they all have their phone numbers, they can shoot text to one another, or emails to one another, like, hey, yo, be on the lookout for these mozzarella sticks. We didn't have time to work it to the shelf, but we have plenty of it on the back dock. As back stock. So maybe you could get someone from your crew to go through that back stock and fill up the holes, because we got plenty of opportunities. We have plenty of sales. You would think that they would do that, but they don't do that. And it's kind of weird to me. It's like, to me, I just think that's hustling backwards. Like, we should all be trying to work together as a unit. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much it on that. I don't want to dwell too much on that because I don't have a lot of time, I got like I got 18 minutes. Okay. So I'm gonna do a quick story. I'm gonna do a quick story for y'all. I'm gonna do a quick, super fast story. It's not that long. Okay. So I'm on hold up. Before I get into this story, I first like to state this for the record. Okay. I got to this story is it's not PG-13. You dig what I'm saying? It's it's kind of hardcore. Pause. It's an adult theme type of story. So I want to talk about it, but I don't feel like this is gonna be the opportunity to talk because I don't have a lot of time to talk about it. You know what? I'm gonna save that story for uh, uh, another day. Okay, I'm gonna save that for another day. So, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the time. This dude named Jack Frazier. Damn, I said that man's whole name. Damn, Chris. My bad, Jack. If you listening to this, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean to say your whole government name. Okay, so Jack. I'm just gonna say Jack. Okay, I'm not gonna say his last name. So Jack, he's a cool dude. I like Jack. He's a co-worker. Ain't nothing wrong with Jack. Jack want to come in, work, do his thing, work, and go home. In that, pretty much in that order. Have no issues with Jack. Jack is pretty much, he don't want to learn nothing different. He don't want to do nothing different. All Jack wants to do is clock in, work self-checkout, and go home. Jack don't want to do nothing else. Jack don't want to work on a register. Jack don't want to, sweep the store. Now, if you need some carts rolled in, Jack will do that for you. Okay? But as far as working trucks or working products to the shelves or what, he's not about that life. Okay? So Jack, he's pretty much, wants to be on the self-checkout. And when I first met Jack, Jack had like a real country twang accent to him. All right. And I knew Jack before he took on this personality. All right. So there's this customer and he's Scottish. Okay. He's Scottish. I mean, he's an OG Scottish. He's OG Scottish. He even wears a kilt. Okay. And Jack was kind of fond of him. Jack was cool with him. Jack would talk to him. They'll sit there and talk for like 10, 15 minutes. Okay. And this dude had a real Scottish accent. Okay. Not no fake accent. I'm talking about a real hardcore Scottish type of accent. All right. So, and I've heard him talk to Jack. So one day I'm walking into the store. Hey, how you doing, Molly? I said hi to you. Hey, is that Nova Player? Nola Player? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? I'm saying hi to you too. No, new player, XD 21 12. What's up to you? What's up to Molly? Okay. So one day I came walking in and I clock in, I see Jack. I said, what's up, Jack? And then Jack goes, top of the morning to ya. I'm like, what the freak? So I had to do a double take. I had to fall back for a second. I said, did Jack's? No, that cannot been Jack. Jack, I know Jack's voice. It sounds like Jack, but he's not using the same verbiage as Jack. So I walked past him again. I said, so how everything's going on self-checkout? Well, everything's going pretty well. Pretty well. No problems here. Yeah. I'm going like, did I step into the Twilight Zone? Did I go to another store with a different Jack that's on self-checkout? So I had to fall back for a second. So I started asking around. So I asked Darlene, I said, hey, you have you noticed something strange about Jack? And then she told me, Jack and his dumbass accent, And then she was telling me the story about Jack. And the story behind this new accent is the fact that Jack would talk to that guy that I just told you, got the customer that had to kill, had a very hard accent, Scottish accent, and I guess Jack took a kinship to it. He started liking it, and now he's adapting to it. Now he's speaking like he's from Scottish, like he's from Scotland. Okay, so being the person that I am, and being the person that I am, to me, I will be kind of pissed off at somebody that's trying to imitate my heritage, okay? That's trying to imitate me. Imagine if me and Jack is cool. I mean, me and Jack was cool, and he digged me so much that he came into the store one day blackface. You dig what I'm saying? I would not like that, okay? Nor would I like if Jack started, talking like he's from the hood. Like, what's up, player? How you doing? To me, I like people to be themselves, you know what I'm saying? But so I was trying to creep it in slowly to Jack. So I'm going like, hey, Jack, so how long you been talking like this? And then Jack goes, my whole entire life, eh? And I'm going like, well, yesterday you were talking like a country bumpkin, and now you got this Scottish tone in you. Okay, so I know that ain't true. So I said, okay, Jack, whatever. What you like it, I love it. I was just letting Jack know. I said, hey, Jack, be careful how you use that accent around people that are Scottish, because they may be offended by it. And he said, oh, no, my friend is welcoming me this accent. He says he likes it, says it fits good on me. I'm going like, okay, so apparently Jack has already demonstrated this accent to the Scottish customer. And I guess he approved it, okay? You know how when they say when different races, like they'll give different races a Negro card. So I guess he's got a Scottish card. Okay, he's got a Scottish card, and it has not been declined by the Scottish. Okay, so days turn into months. I mean, days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. Then, people that really know Jack, we just deal with it. But, every now and then you get new people that come into the store. So people were really thinking that Jack is Scottish. Because people never heard Jack when he was a country bumpkin. So now you got these new people coming in, and they hip and they like Jack because they think Jack is Scottish. They don't like Jack because Jack is Jack. They like Jack because he's Scottish. They really think Jack is Scottish. Okay? So I walked up to Jack again. I said, hey, man, Jack, I understand that you're trying to pick up a new culture. I understand the language, but, be careful. At least let people know that you're not Scottish. So I guess Jack has been, taking this behavior for so long. Jack really thinks he's Scottish. And I'm up here arguing with Jack. I'm like, Jack, you're not Scottish, okay? You're not from Scotland. Maybe Scotland, Tennessee, but you're not Scottish, okay? You have never even been overseas. You don't even know what overseas is, okay? You're not Scottish, okay? But Jack believes that he's Scottish. So I went along with it. It ain't no big deal to me. It ain't like he's pretending to be African. You dig what I'm saying? If people like Jack being that way, I just gonna have to live with it, right? If nobody else ain't complaining, why should I complain about it? That's how I look at things. So okay, so I'm just dealing with the fact. Okay, so after a couple of, the first 6 months, it's kind of innocent and playful. A year, 2 years into it, you just learn to like it. After 3 years, it starts wearing on you. And it weared on Darlene hardcore. Darlene would tell him, Darlene would get so mad, she'll tell Jack to use his real accent. And then Jack will talk back to Darlene, but this is my real accent. What's the problem? And I'm going like, Lord have mercy. Okay. So I knew it was starting to piss off Darlene. Okay. So then Darlene will be kind of vindictive on Jack. She'll start scheduling Jack on the cash register. And Jack would, the first couple of weeks, Jack didn't get upset about it. But he just thought it was just a little temporary thing. He'll be back on self-checkout. Okay? Going on a month, he's still on the register. So then he'll come up to me and say, hey, Chris, what the freak's going on? I said, what you talking about, Jack? He said, Darlene got me on a regular register. She knows I like self-checkout. What seems to be the problem? And I'm going like, I don't know, Jack. Have you talked to Darlene? I tried to talk to Darlene, but talking to Darlene is like talking to a wall. You just don't get a response from her. What the bloody hell's going on around here? So I said, I tell you what, Jack. I'll talk to Darlene, because that's basically what Jack wanted me to do. Jack wanted me to talk to Darlene. And let me tell you something. Talking to Darlene can be difficult sometimes because Darlene is set in her ways. So no matter what you say to Darlene, it can be positive. It can be reasonable. It can have some validation to it. Darlene's stuck in her ways. If she's going this way, she is not. She's going that way. She's not going to change. You dig what I'm saying? So I went in the office. I said, hey, Darlene, Jack want to know why you got him on the register. And then she snaps her head around to me. She said, well, if Jack wants to know so much, he needs to come tell me about that. All right. So I said, okay, I'm out of it. Okay. That's pretty much what she's saying. That's pretty much what she's telling me. Mind your business. Okay. So I'm out of it. All right. So I walk out the office. And then Jack see me walking out of the office, walking up front. And then Jack said, so what did she say? And then I said, hey, man, Jack, you might want to have to talk to Darlene. Okay, hold up. I'm just hoping you don't do that one thing. Okay, Don, I got you. So I said, hey, man, you gotta talk to Darlene because, it's your problem. I don't know what's going on. All right. So after a month of him being on the register, well, a month and a half, Jack goes to, got the courage to go talk to Darlene about it. And basically, Darlene made up some chump excuse talking about, well, she don't have enough people to work on the register that's old enough to scan beer, which that's a legit excuse. But, how we've been getting by with it is, I will have to go and scan, if you're not old enough to scan your alcohol, I will go over there and do it, or somebody else will have to go over there and do it. That's how we've been getting by. So she made up some excuse that, hey, look, you're older. It's easier to put you on the register and put the kids, and then the kids can still be on the register, but since you're the oldest one, you can move around and do everyone's alcohol. That was her excuse, okay? Because she said if you're on self-checkout, you can't do that because you got registered to worry about. You just can't move around, okay? That's a decent excuse, but I don't know, So I went with it. I bid on it. I said, okay, cool. That sounds cool to me. Management said it was cool to them. Management blessed it anyway. They said that makes sense too. Everybody was cool with it but Jack. So it got to the point when Darlene would be off. Darlene would be off on Mondays and Thursdays. Every Monday, every Thursday. Okay? So on them days, if Jack has to work, he'll ask one of us can he be on self-checkout? And when I'm working, I don't see no problem with him being on self-checkout, because he'll be on self-checkout. If that means I gotta move around and scans people alcohol, that's cool. I'm cool with it. And on Thursdays I'm off, but Autumn is working, and she's pretty cool with it. She just go ahead and let Jack do what he wants to do, and Autumn can do their alcohol. Cool. All right. Everything was cool. That's how we did it. Till someone told Darlene that that's what we was doing. And Darlene got infuriated with us. She told us not to do that. She wanted him on a register. Okay? So I had to go tell, hey man, Jack, starting next week, Darlene said even if she's off, she still wants you on a register. And then Jack said, oh, what the bloody hell does that make? It doesn't make no sense. It's like a bloody concentration camp in here. Jesus Christ. Even when she's off, she wants to be in control. What's going on? So that's when Jack explored all his options. He got a union representative. Union representative couldn't do nothing for him. He talked to the store manager. Store manager couldn't do nothing for him. He talked to people outside. He talked to corporate. Corporate couldn't do nothing for him. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it's a bunch of nonsense. Okay? At the end of the day, it's a bunch of nonsense. Okay? On both ends. Why am I, involving myself on some petty stuff? That's pretty much how everyone treated it. Because everyone thought it was no big deal. Hell, I didn't think it was a big deal. Okay? So, after 6 months, Jack says, you know what? I'm quitting this place. So I'm up here trying to convince Jack not to quit. I'm like, Jack, there are plenty of reasons to quit. Man, don't quit your job because, you have something going on with Darlene, and, just work the rest. Pretty soon she's going to get out of this feeling and everything will be back to normal. And then Jack said, no, I done had enough of it, Chris. Jesus Christ. It's been going on for too freaking long. She's not going to let it go. So Jack wrote a note. Jack wrote a 2 weeks notice saying in 2 weeks he's quit. I'm up here telling Jack, don't put it on her desk, because if you put it on her desk, it's a wrap. He puts it on her desk anyway. Apparently, somebody took a picture of it, sent it to Darlene, and Darlene calls the store. And I picked up the phone. I said, hello, welcome to so-and-so, man. How can I help you? And she told me, said her name, Darlene. Then she told me, so she didn't say who sent it, but she said, so someone sent me a picture of Jack's 2 weeks notice. You tell Jack, I'm accepting his 2 week notice. I'm taking him off my schedule in 2 weeks. Now, if he has a change of heart and change of mind, it's over. He's off my schedule for 2 weeks. Some other department will have to deal with him. And I was trying to explain to Darlene, like, hey, I'm trying to convince him to stay. Darlene was going like, she don't want him to stay. 2 weeks went by, Jack done left. Okay? Thanks for the thumbs up. Jack left. Jack done went, done quit. Less than 3 weeks, Jack comes back wanting his job. Apparently, he thought he was hired somewhere, and they told him that they didn't have enough. They couldn't hire him because they just didn't have the hours for him. He swore up and down he thought that he was going to get this job. So Jack comes back wanting his old job back. I'm cool with it, but the store manager and Darlene was not cool with it. Okay, so they made up some excuse talking about, well, we're not hiring as of yet and things of that nature, whatever. All right. So Jack ends up being a security guard for a medical clinic. And he was doing that. He liked the job. Okay, so he was a security guard at this Vanderbilt Medical Center. It's like a little clinic, and it was in this plaza. And he was working there for like 2 or 3. He worked there for like 2 years, I think 2 years. But then they closed the little section off because they're gonna demolish that whole section and make them into condominiums. So bye-bye Vanderbilt Clinic and bye-bye everything else. That shopping mall, they're just gonna tear it down and make it into like condominiums where you can buy condominiums, and they're gonna have all types of, they're gonna have like a little plaza in it and all that crap. Okay, so now Jack's unemployed again. So I said, you know what? You've been gone enough. Why don't you see if you can get your old job back? And he said, I don't want to go back to that bloody hell. I know that ain't Kata there. So Jack ended up putting in an application for Publix. And he's been there ever since then. The last time I saw Jack is I was on my patio. It was hot. It was this year. It was a very hot day. And I was on my patio, watering my little plants. And I can see Jack on that electric bike. And he's pedaling away. And it's hot as hell out there. It is hot as hell out there. He's got his Publix uniform on and everything. I saw Jack stop midway, stayed hid under a shade tree, and he was about to pass out. And I was going to go, I felt bad for him, so I was going to go get some water and walk across the street and give it to him. So as I'm, trying to go in, get some water, maybe, and give it to him, he stayed there for like 10 seconds, got back on his little bike, and rolled off. And that's the last time I seen Jack. I don't shop at Publix, so I don't know what Jack's doing in Publix. I just know he works at Publix, okay? So that's pretty much it for that story time. Okay, that one's in the books. Hope y'all guys are thoroughly entertained by that. Sorry for the short notice. It's your boy. I gotta talk to you guys later. I'll come up with a better story. I got a way better story than that, but I got to take some words out of it, okay? Because this is very controversial and it's not really suitable for kids. Okay, you dig what I'm saying? So I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for everyone that came by. Thanks for everybody that hit the like button. Thanks for everybody that commented. Subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.